The recent spate of destruction around forest villages was a harbinger of a major problem in the region. Crops were being destroyed. Animal shelters were being attacked in the middle of the night. Villagers were afraid to go out into the fields at night. And we knew very well, these tracks could not belong to an ordinary wild boar. We were dealing with an unusual, larger, more intelligent, and more aggressive herd. It was no longer just a matter of hunting, but of the safety of people trying to live in harmony with nature. So, we finalized our preparations and set off deep into the forest in the early hours of the morning for the challenging hunt. It is 5:30 a.m. The sun has not risen yet. The fog is silent in the forest. As the cold air penetrates our lungs, we take our walking order and move among the trees. The steps are slow but determined. Every crunch, every movement is followed by the eye. Hunting dogs lead the way, their ears perked up, their muscles tensed. They are ready to pick up a trail, a scent at any moment. Our goal is clear: to find the giant wild boar weighing over 300 kilos that has been seen in the area for the last week. It takes courage to face such a beast, but we are ready, because it requires not only experience, but also instinct. The first contact comes around 6 in the morning. One of the dogs suddenly starts barking, followed by a loud growl from deep in the forest, echoing in our ears. Everyone gets into position. Breaths are held. We keep our eyes peeled between the trees as the radio announces contact. Silence, then movement. A giant silhouette emerges from the canopy and slowly advances. Its trunk is so big that it makes the earth tremble. We're on high alert, weapons at the ready, locked and loaded. And then the moment comes. The boar suddenly accelerates, breaks through the dogs and heads towards us. The hunter in the front line fires immediately. The first bullet hits the pig in the shoulder, but it is not enough. The animal shakes, but doesn't stop. 2 more shots follow. Finally, the giant carcass falls to the ground and silence falls. But this is only the beginning. At this point, I would like to remind you, if you like these breathtaking hunting moments and real struggles with nature, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. With your support, we will continue to share more hunting stories and more action with you. The first target of the hunt had been neutralized, but sounds from deeper in the forest signaled that more were close at hand. The team split into 2. One group headed for the northeastern slope, while the other moved to the southern line where the dogs were pointing. I was in the group on the southern line, where the terrain was more rugged and closed. Movement was narrow, and visibility was very limited. In such environments, the pig has a great advantage, because it is a natural ambush, and it knows nature much better than we do. Later in the day, the sun slowly retreats behind the forest, and the sky takes on a color alternating between orange and purple. We are still on the southern slopes of the mountain, in the deepest and most dangerous parts of the forest. As it gets darker, things get harder. Visibility drops, voices echo and confuse your sense of direction, and every tree shadow seems like a danger. But we are prepared for these conditions. Thermal cameras, night vision binoculars, and, of course, our intuition. All are indispensable for this kind of hunting. It's at this moment that a terrifying voice over the radio grabs attention. The team on duty on the northern slope noticed intense activity in the high bushes. A herd of 4 to 5 pigs, 4 to 5 individuals, is descending downwards. The wind direction is in our favor. This means they can approach without picking up our scent. We immediately take up a new position, quietly moving. Meanwhile, the dogs are on the move again. The silence is now woven with tension. Moments later, growls can be heard coming from the bushes. The voices are getting closer. Our heartbeats quicken. fingers ready for the trigger, eyes on the binoculars. Finally, the first silhouette appears. A large, dark-colored pig with its snout close to the ground, moving with slow steps. Behind him are 3 other young individuals. Each one is fast, alert, but stays close behind their leader. This is a very experienced group. We aim in silence. Everyone has chosen their target. The first shot comes from me. I hit the individual I targeted with the signal on the thermal, right in the chest. Then, like an explosion, the other guns fire one after the other. There are sounds of escape from the bushes, the pigs scattering left and right. One of them, which managed to escape the attack, was about to change direction when it was hit by a single bullet from the other team. What happens in these minutes reveals both the most dangerous and the most satisfying side of hunting. And I'd like to remind you again, if you don't want to miss any of these moments, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support is crucial for us to share these nature struggles with you. Even though the intensity of the hunt has exhausted us, we are all determined to finish the night here, on this mountain, because we know that real hunts often take place in the darkness of the night. These are the hours when pigs are more active, braver, and more predatory. We immediately set up a temporary camp. There is no fire. Only cameras with infrared vision and minimal light control the environment. After an hour of silence, one of the dogs signals again. Ears pricked up, he stares nervously in the western direction of the forest. Then an instinctive bark. It's the familiar call. The hunt is close. We quickly get into position. We move behind the trees, avoiding stepping on dry branches. And finally, a movement in the pitch darkness, a whistling shadow. This pig is one of the masters of night hunting. Immediately after him, another one appears. They're almost invisible in the dark, but our binoculars won't let us down. This time we must be very careful. Night attacks are much more dangerous. When cornered, these animals can strike directly. And imagine a creature of this weight galloping towards you. So there is no margin for error. I hold my breath, keep my eyes on the scope, waiting. The right angle, the right moment. And finally, I pull the trigger. When the bullet hits his body, he lets out a muffled scream, then collapses. But the others don't stop. They scatter running, one of them coming straight in our direction. One of my friends is almost attacked, but a timely countershot eliminates the danger. Adrenaline is running high in all of us. The night turns into a struggle for survival with every minute. We end the hunt at around 3 a.m. We are tired but proud at the same time. That night, not only 4 large pigs, but also the fear of the locals is gone. There is nothing like being rewarded for our hard work. As the first rays of the morning began to appear on the horizon, we all returned to the campsite, tired but peaceful after the intense hunting adventure we had experienced during the night. The forest was still hazy, the smell of the earth was intense, and the coolness of the air was on our skin. But just when we thought it was all over, something unexpected happened. We were startled by a forked, muffled voice over the radio. The team observing the northern line reported that they had come across the tracks of a large boar that had been roaming the area during the night, but could not be caught. We quickly got ready and set off in that direction. The ground was wet, our muddy boots felt heavy, and we were getting more tired with every step. But we were strangely excited, because the pig they were talking about was unusually large.
Domuzu vurmasınlar lan.
We could tell from the fresh tracks and the damaged vegetation that it was much stronger and more predatory than the others. First broken branches, then large footprints buried in the mud. At the side of the road, deep scratches on the trunk of a tree stood out. It was both a warning and a sign of territorial dominance. Everyone held their breath, eyes watching every movement around them. The dogs moved forward with their noses close to the ground, not barking, only growling. This was the clearest sign that we were approaching. And finally, in the middle of the forest, in the shade of the oak trees, a gigantic silhouette appeared. His head was down, his shoulders were raised, its eyes were red. This pig must indeed be the legendary individual that had terrorized the area for years. When one of the dogs lunged forward, the giant boar did not retreat, but charged. We saw that the dog had escaped unhurt, thanks to its sudden maneuver amidst the flying dirt and sharp tusks. I immediately got into position. My hands didn't shake as I took aim, but my heart was beating so fast it was pounding out of my chest. Making the right decision in such moments is vital. I pressed the trigger. The first bullet hit him in the shoulder, but this giant creature, despite being hit, didn't stagger. It started running towards us. My friends immediately opened fire. One shot after another, the pig collapsed a few feet away. The adrenaline in his veins tried to keep him going, but he had no strength left. As we approached him, we noticed that his body was covered in scars. This was a leader who had fought not only nature, but also other predators over the years. This scene reminded us once again that there is an order in nature that we must respect. Hunting is not just about hitting the target. It is about understanding nature, the balance, the life story of the victim. Each mark, each crevice, is a trace of a life lived, and we always find our way by reading these traces. If you want to see more scenes like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because real nature struggles are lived and told here. Now it's time to go back, but there may be unexpected developments on the way back, because this forest is never completely silent. Slowly we began to move away from the spot where the giant pig had piled up. It was quiet, but no one was at ease. Because in this forest, the end of one danger did not necessarily mean the beginning of another. Each of us kept our eyes on the surroundings, alert for other pigs that might be lurking among the tree trunks. We knew from experience that when the leader of a herd falls, chaos ensues. Either the herd disperses completely or becomes more aggressive out of revenge. The muffled voice on the radio pierced the silence once again. Attention! Movement detected on the southern slope. The number is not clear, but most likely the remaining herd is recovering. This message put a new weight on the shoulders of the entire team. The sense of accomplishment we had just felt was replaced by the pressure of a new task. We quickly changed our direction, positioning ourselves according to the wind direction, so that it would be harder for them to smell us, and we could hold the possibility of a sudden raid. The sun was nearing its zenith, the air was getting warmer, but the tension was growing in everyone. In the silence, only the sound of boots in the mud and the occasional growl of dogs could be heard. We started down through the trees towards the southern slope. The soil was damp, slippery. Every step had to be taken carefully. A small mistake could not only cause the prey to escape, but also injure us. And finally, we reached the spot, a low valley with dense undergrowth. The dogs suddenly tensed. They rushed forward with their noses in the air. Soon after, we heard a small growl through the bushes. It was not an ordinary sound. It sounded like the hoarse voice of a wounded pig, but at the same time angry and fearless. The whole team reflexively took up positions. The guns in our hands were locked on target. Then the bushes suddenly parted. Out of them emerged a pig with black hair, the biggest we had ever seen. Its left front leg was badly wounded, but that didn't slow it down. We locked eyes in the dirt in front of our faces, and time seemed to slow down. I pointed the gun, but I had to wait for the right moment to shoot. He was too fast, too agile. A moment's hesitation meant he would jump on us. Just in front of us, Mert fired from the side. The bullet hit the pig's hind leg. Losing its balance, the animal staggered but didn't stop. It was even more ambitious. This time he aimed directly at me. I was on the trigger. The target was right in the center of my eye. I held my breath, pulled the trigger, and the bullet hit him right in the center of his forehead. He collapsed with a sudden scream. He was motionless. The dogs rushed at him, but when they got close, they stopped and retreated.